Welcome to the Costa Mesa Sports Scene. I am Bob Gibson. Well, this is Newport Harbor High, and they opened their doors back in 1930. That means this year is the 90th anniversary of the school. Well, they had some celebration things that were planned, but like everything else, it's on hold until we can figure out when kids can get back to school. Now, that also includes athletic competition, and even the CIF Southern Section and the NHHS has put some schedules together and the ground rules of what that's going to look like. We just don't know exactly when the kids are going to be back here on campus. But in the meantime, we got a chance to sit down with the athletic director here, Jerry Murray, and we talked about some of those plans, what they've been doing, and what's in place right now to help make that transition a smooth one. This school was ready this year to celebrate its 90th birthday, established in 1930. So there isn't much that's happened that Newport Harbor High School hasn't been through, but it's never been through what we're going through right now. This is quite a loop, and obviously it threw everybody for a loop, especially in the athletic department, as you've seen. How has it been for you and for your coaches, and kind of what in this seemingly, it seems like a long time, but it's really a short amount of time.
We were kind of in limbo waiting for the district to approve us to start practices. We got that approval. We trained 93 coaches on all the COVID stuff, all the cleaning rules, all that stuff, got them ready to go, had them set for a phase 1 start and all the rules to phase 1. We bought thermometers and hand sanitizers and cleaners and had all that stuff set up for them. And then we did the training for 5 straight days. And we got done with it, and the last day they shut it down. Because the county and the state shut it down. The state said that they hadn't approved anybody doing that yet. So we went back into limbo, and then we kind of just waited for CIF to make their decision. And you know, if you watch all the spiking going on and all that, we have to be at no more than 5 per 100, and we're at or 5 per 1,000, and we're at 200 and something per 1,000. So we have to get our numbers down for more than 14 straight days to put kids in the seat at school, and nothing will happen until kids are in the seats at school. So we can't have athletics unless there's kids on campus. So
what was it like for you at the end of last season to have to tell your kids and coaches, hey, this isn't going to complete for you, especially for the seniors?
It was tough. At first, we were going to have games with no fans, and then they said no to that too. So we actually had Dana Hills was here. We were all set up to play volleyball, and no fans and everything, and the parents got it. And Dana Hills' coach got a call, and their district shut them down. So the kids were disappointed. You know, they lost a lot of things. This year's class might even have it worse because they're coming in with nothing.
Yeah.
So those kids at least had 2/3 of their year. It was tough. Graduation was tough. All the athletic events, you know, we had some good teams and they were looking forward to doing well, and unfortunately it got taken away from them. So for the seniors, it's really bad because they're done. For this year's, you know, the kids that came back have another chance at it. So if everything goes according to everything, we'll hopefully get this taken care of the right way. And they've set it up for full seasons with full CIF championships and full state championships. So we're encouraged, we're positive. We're in constant contact with all the coaches. The coaches are in contact with their kids. So we're trying to be as positive as we can and get this done. So,
are you a fan of what the Southern Section put forth? You know, obviously we talk about having the usual 3 seasons of sport, fall, winter, spring. Now we're going to condense that into 2 seasons and mix some of the sports around it. There's no perfect plan, right? But are you a fan of at least what Southern Section put forth?
I like what Southern Section did. I think the state should have eliminated the state championships this year. That would have added 3 weeks to each season. We could have spread it out a little better. We could have cut down a little bit on the seasons and had 3 separate seasons, which would have been my preference. We don't have a whole lot of facilities here, and so trying to juggle all these things in a facility is going to be tough. Our teams aren't going to get to practice in the stadium because we're going to have so many games going on, and games take priorities over practice.
Sure.
So we get to the spring one, we have 6 soccer teams and 5 lacrosse teams, all using the stadium. So it's going to be really difficult to do. But, you know, we'll do it, we'll make it work, and the coaches get it, and they're all being cooperative, you know. So we got a good team here, everybody gets along, everybody talks to each other. So if everything goes on schedule with what CIF and everything the state allows, then yeah, we'll be okay. We'll make it work.
Most people seem confident that this is going to be in place, that the plans are in place, that everything safety-wise is in place to make this go. Is it? And I'm asking your opinion. Obviously, is this a reality, or is some of it kind of a hope and a prayer?
The numbers go the way they're supposed to go, and if people, wear their protective equipment and keep the spread down, we should be okay. I don't know if we're going to have fans in the seats or not. I don't know how that's going to be allowed, how we're going to social distance there and do all that. But if people do the right thing and the numbers go down, we can do this, yes. So.
Obviously, football drives so much of what happens. I mean, it's the first sport, it's the first major sport of the year. A lot of the revenue for schools comes through the gate of having football, no different for you guys here with the beautiful stadium, Davidson Field, you've had for so many years. So saving football is a big deal, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, football is an important thing to the school. You have your homecoming game there. You get a lot of alumni come back for that. You fill the stadium every Friday night. It's a good thing, and it does provide a lot of the money. We have about 4 programs that provide majority of the money for the school. So that hurts our budget a little bit, but we've been talking to the district about, okay, guys, if we're doing this, you're going to have to help us here because we're not going to have the ticket sales. So they understand that, and they're working with us. So I mean, it's been really. Dr. Bauermeister has been really good about it, and he helps us out a lot. And so, we're doing it the best. We're coming in as optimistic as we can, and hopefully it's going to work. Right. So I'd love to see it work for the kids because I don't want to see them have to go through what they did last year. So
yeah, no, for sure. Obviously, you had a lot of time talking with. You've been at this long enough. A lot of the other athletic directors, a lot of the coaches around the county, especially in this area. I mean, this is Newport Beach is a 2 high school community. Costa Mesa is a 2 high school community, and the school district is a very small district here. So obviously, a lot of people. Everybody you talk to, everybody in good contact with each other, trying to help pull the rope in the same direction.
Yeah, we have I talk to all the district ADs all the time, and then we talk to the conference ADs. We have meetings like once a week on Zoom and discuss things. We're just putting together the schedules now. So we're meeting Friday to discuss the schedules and make sure that we can make them all work and there's no problems. It's going to be juggling a little bit just because we have to, because combining everything at the same time is tough. But everybody's been really good about this. Everybody, like I said, is working together as hard as they can. And we may be rivals on the field, but off the field we're colleagues and we have to work together. This doesn't work. So yeah, and I got good relationships with everybody, and we do a good job, and it's not a problem. So.
How do you sit down and try to find the time to have somebody's got to be on this court here and somebody's got to be on that field at that time? And I mean, is it logistically, has it become a nightmare?
Well, the court sports, basketball, the 2 girls and boys basketball, girls and boys volleyball been doing this for years, so they're good talking to each other and dealing with it. Wrestling is once a week or whatever, and they're good about it. So that's not an issue. It's just the toughest one's going to be the field for practice, because we only had that one practice field, and then we had the stadium. And the stadium, with so many things going, we'll have football and field hockey going on, and then we're going to have, like I said, both soccer programs, and which they always did, and both lacrosse, which they always did, but now they're in the same season. So they're gonna be some grousing about practice time on the turf, and it's gonna be everybody's in the same boat. So the thing here is, we want this to work for the kids. We got to do it together. So what we do is we'll have a meeting. I'll sit down with all the people that use the courts, the gyms, and have a discussion with them. And we just sit down and say, okay, when are you going? When are you going? When are you going? And they've been really good over the years about that. And then I'll do the same thing with all the field sports. And we'll just have to sit down and say, okay, when are you going? Here's how we're doing it. My girls lacrosse coach teaches in another district, so she likes to practice at 6 o'clock at night, so that makes it really simple because she pulls out later. So that makes it easier. That helps. It's just a case of getting everybody here. We're not allowing any youth groups out here this year. Okay. So, it's school groups only, so that helps cut down that too. We've been pretty good about that. The stadium's only used for Newport-Mesa stuff. No one else uses the stadium. So we can do that. We can control some of that. And basically, they got to get along. And for the most part, they all do. Like I said, there'll be some, well, I got a game tomorrow. Okay, but they got a game tonight. So here's what we do. So, and it'll be fair for everybody. So.
90 years of history is very much worth celebrating, and we will be here when the Sailors are able to do that right here on campus. For the Costa Mesa Sports Scene, I'm Bob Gibson.